class will be relying on experience and data ahead of next week's draft. First-time head coach Nick Sirianni, deep in the weeds on this whole learning on the fly concept, had a different approach. We'll go ahead and let Sirianni explain this one.
I played a couple of them at rock, paper, scissors, right? That was as easy as that. Rock, paper, scissors. Let's see how competitive you are. I'm competitive. I'm going to be talking trash to him. Did you talk trash back to me? Right? Jeopardy. There's different ways to do it. It looks a lot of different ways. But our coaches got so creative with this. Like Jeff Stoutland, Brian Johnson. Like they did just such, Aaron Moorhead. They all did a great job, right? Tracy Rocker, Jeremiah Washburn, they all did a great job of just figuring out how to compete, because everyone's compete looks a little different. Like if I get up there, I play them rock, paper, scissors. They got a little more creative than I did at times. So it was awesome, though, because it did anything you compete at. When you compete with somebody that's competitive, they're going to go at you no matter what game you're playing.
What's the edge there? Like always go scissors. LeVar, if you're on this team and you're in that locker room, and the last time you played rock, paper, scissors, shoot was grade school, what do you make of this? What are you thinking?
I like it. I know it might sound crazy, but you know what I mean? I like it because the premise of what he's saying is true. Let me tell you something. Come on, Jenna. Ready? Come on, Ray. 1, 2, 3, shoot. You ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, and shoot. What do you got?
You threw the scissors up because we were off on count, but I hated the fact that I went early enough for you to use scissors to beat my paper. The point is, I don't want to lose. If you are competitive, you are ultra competitive. I want to beat you in Connect 4. I want to beat you in chess. I want to beat you in checkers. I want to beat you in Monopoly. If I lose, I throw the board. If I lose in Connect 4, I knock it over. Like, we'll have TJ on later on. TJ's a really good Connect 4 player, right? And I played him, and I've thrown the Connect 4 because I lost. I like this because it's cool. You can tell he's young. It's a young man's game. He's bringing young man energy. It's not stuffy like, hey, this is how I'm going to measure if you have the guts. This is how I'm going to decide you have the intestinal fortitude to be the player that I need you to be for our team. Like, there's going to be enough times for all those tense moments. So if you're using rock, paper, scissors as a way to gauge if somebody is competitive or not in a lighthearted moment, go right ahead. Like, I have no problem with that.
You know what? I'm going to double down what LeVar said. I agree with him. If you're an Eagles player, you're not even thinking about this. Why? Because this is the locker room. This is exactly what we do in the locker room.
We do way dumber stuff than that.
We are men playing a kid game. No, we do this. Chicago Bears, Brian Urlacher, Devin Hester, Matt Forte, Jay Cutler, Julius Peppers, Pina. We play every single day. This is what we did in the locker room. We played ping pong and we played this. This is the locker room, guys. It doesn't matter, but let me get a little serious, because this is the locker room and it's super competitive and we kept score. Let's push it forward to Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks. He is known for keeping a cool environment. When you walk into the team meeting room and you walk into that room, he has a basketball hoop there, and there's 20 balls, and so many guys are shooting. And every day he opens up with the competition. So guys, offense versus defense, this guy versus that guy, and you shoot. My first week there, I was hot and I was shooting, and my rebounder, I don't know if it was Russell Wilson or not, just was terrible. They wasn't getting the job done. And I just stopped and looked at him. And Pete, after, came to me and he said, "Brandon, why did you stop?" And I said, "Coach, did you see the rebound? Like, I had no chance." He said, "You always have a chance." And it was in that moment. And now I'm getting serious here, Wilds. It was in that moment that I realized that Pete Carroll is a genius, because a lot of us think, and it is, like, it's just cool, it's fun, it's what he does. But he also judges how competitive the players are. In that moment, he said, "Brandon, you stopped, and I didn't like that. This is a good thing. There's so many strategies out there. That's one, ping pong, basketball. So many coaches do different things."
Give me a better rebounder, Coach.
Here we go.
Give me a better rebounder.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm ready for it,
Brandon.
Wilds. Go.
Okay, a few things. You always have said on this show that this is a billion-dollar industry with multi-million-dollar athletes, which means the draft prospects are multi-million-dollar employees that are joining your organization. The idea that you would play rock, paper, scissors to gauge some level of anything, whether it's competitiveness, whether it's strategy, whether it's anything at all, is insane. It is crazy.
And
it's not only a bad look for the draft prospects to compete in this and have to play a children's game with their boss, and you have to figure out, am I talking enough trash or not enough trash? Because I'm sure if you were ultra competitive, you could go too far and hurt Nick Sirianni's feelings. Like, wow, I don't like that guy. He called me XYZ, really hurt my feeling, really tore down the whole staff. Second of all, Nick Sirianni, you know who you're in a competition with? Other head coaches. And it's not a creativity contest. It's about winning games. Because when Jalen Mills, surprise, surprise, a former Eagle, went and met Bill Belichick, here's what he said. He lost his mind. He was in the cafeteria. There's Bill Belichick, the legend. He said, I literally turned my back to him and I screamed out loud, like, this is Coach Belichick. Excuse my language, but like, this is blanking Coach Belichick. You know what the draft prospects say when you meet Nick Sirianni? Scissors. 1, 2, 3, shoot, scissors. It's insane. The level of difference between a legendary coach and a guy that's playing a playground game.
Please get him demarked.
So good, Kevin.
Please get him demarked.
Hey, wow,
please get him.
Listen,
So good, Wiles.
everything matters. It's about strategy. No, it's not good. All of this stuff matters. I once heard Pete Carroll say this. He said, you know what? I love guys with dreads. I said, why do you love guys with dreads, Coach? He said, especially the long dreads. He says, because it shows me their commitment. Coach literally said this to me. He said, you know that ugly stage that you go through when you twist up your dreads and guys actually make it through that process? It shows their level of commitment. So these coaches and these teams are doing everything they can to get the edge. Now, here's the problem with Coach Sirianni. He's not a great communicator. That's what it is. The Philadelphia Eagles have another head coach that's not able to articulate themselves well. So, of course, we can go out here and crush him for this because he's not able to tell you why this strategy matters. So, look, coaches and head owners, they do everything they can to figure out who these guys are and what makes them tick, LeVar. You know that.
They just went through a very traumatic ending to their season this past year. Let that man bring in what he's going to bring in and give himself a fair opportunity to break the ice and be what he needs to be as a leader to that team. That's ultimately what it comes down to. That's not how he's making his choice. He's just giving it a lighthearted face to it. Give that man a little bit of credit and give him a little bit of time. I mean, it's okay. It's going to be all right, Wilds. I promise. It's going to work out.
If they come out and start winning, then he could do this all day, every day, right? Let's see if it translates to any wins whatsoever.
Yeah,
all right, we got to move on. Take a break, talk some basketball now. Superstar.